So I'm going to just let you just go ahead and just take this away. I won't even ask you, did they get it right? Because we all know the answer is no. What would you change?
All right, so top 4, no problem. Davante Adams, best route runner, 18 touchdowns. I mean, there's not too much we can say about him. Great separation. We know what Davante Adams does. Same with you, Davante Adams, number 1. Go with that?
I still got him on 1.
All right, so DeAndre Hopkins, I agree with, number 2. Davante Adams really takes the 1 spot. Great route running, great hands, 18 touchdowns. You can't compete with that. DeAndre Hopkins, 2, I agree with. Can make any catch. Best hands in the NFL, I think. Huge catch radius. He'll go up and grab anything. And we know who Diop is. There's no great explanation we need for him. Tyreek Hill, number 3.
I feel you there, but I got Stephon Diggs at 2.
Ooh.
We're basing this off of last season.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that Stephon Diggs is better than D-Hop. What I'm saying is Stephon Diggs led the league in receiving yards last year. He led the league in receptions last year, and he was right there around 13 or 14, 1 touchdown out of being tied for 10th in touchdowns.
Yep.
His numbers support it. So, D-Hop is even below him. He only had caught like 6 touchdowns last year, and he's below him in yards, below him in receptions. How is he above him if we're just rating from last year?
Yep.
These aren't career accomplishment rankings.
Right.
That's not what Madden is doing.
Right.
Like, it's ridiculous.
Right. I feel you. All right, so number 2 is Stephon Diggs. Now, number 3, I got Tyreek Hill. Fastest man in the league, of course. Can run any play, biggest home run hitter in the NFL, biggest deep threat. You miss a tackle, he might score a touchdown. That's how it is with Tyreek Hill. We know who he is. Mahomes out there throwing to him. Great scheme in Kansas City. No problem with Tyreek at number 3. How do you feel?
At number 3, that's where I've got D-Hop.
D-Hop at 3?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. And I see you, so you might be just knocking down one here. Okay, so number 4 is where Diggs fell for me. I think he's a top 3 route runner in the NFL. No question about that. Great yard after the catch. Huge separation when he gets out there. Can make a lot of plays. Great hands. All these top receivers have a lot in common. It's just, barely separating, what does each of them do maybe just a little different or better than the other receiver. I do have Stephon Diggs at number 4, and I feel like he's just an all-around receiver. Doesn't really have a weakness in his game. Where you put you had Stephon at
I got him at 2.
Right, so he got a 4.
Tyreek Hill.
Okay.
We have the same top 4. We just reordered them.
Right, just flipped them a little bit. Okay, fair enough.
I agree with those.
Right, now here's where it gets a little interesting. So the Julio and Michael Thomas thing, like you said, Julio really played more than Michael Thomas, but still missed some games. Michael Thomas didn't play a whole lot. Had a decent amount of yards for the time he did play with Kamara and Breeze on the field, but overall the high ankle sprain lingered at him all year. And Julio, kind of had some lingering injuries as well. But, with the way Madden works, they do adjust every year. And I feel like Julio has taken his body seriously this offseason, new life with the Titans. And he knows next to A.J. Brown and a guy in Ryan Tannehill who has no problem putting the ball down the field, like Matt Ryan wouldn't have a problem putting the ball down the field either. Like, it's still pretty similar. I'm going to have Julio at number 5. I think he's going to be a fairly healthy receiver this year, and he could easily jump to number 1 in this list. We know who Julio is. Modern-day Megatron, huge size, great hands, can make any catch, great route runner. He is also, like Stephon Diggs, just much bigger and more physical in the game. So I am going to have Julio, crazy enough, at number 5 on this list.
Julio is absolutely good enough to be at number 5, but seeing as how these Madden rankings are supposed to be coming from what happened last season, it is extremely irresponsible to rank Julio that high. Did we forget about DK Metcalf?
Right.
He didn't even make the top 10. I got Metcalf at 5.
Thank you for the respect on my boy DK.
Metcalf was 7th in receiving yards, 9th in touchdowns. How is he not in the top 10 at all?
Right.
You've got Amari Cooper up there, but not DK Metcalf?
Right. And the thing with DK, here's what people look at. They look at about the 7% drop rate, which isn't great, but they also look at the fact that he's only been in the NFL for 2 years. But what people don't realize is, as a rookie, he led the NFL in red zone targets with Russell Wilson as his quarterback. That is huge. And he got the comps to Megatron. He's close to the height. He's close to the weight. He's not going to be Megatron, but he's got huge size, elite speed, and he can make a lot of catches. But number 5 for DK for you.
Yeah, DK.
Okay, fair enough. Number 6, it kind of got tough falling down from here, but I feel Keenan Allen is a really slept-on receiver. I think he's neck and neck with Davante Adams in terms of separation, in terms of route running. We know he's got great hands, and he can make a lot of huge catches as well. So I'm going to have Keenan Allen at number 6, and he comes back healthy this year. He dealt with some stuff last year, and Justin Herbert even being able to throw the 4,300 yards. Imagine if you had a fully available Keenan Allen for 16, now 17 games. So I am going to have Keenan Allen at number 6, a very underrated wide receiver that really deserves a respect in this league.
Well, I mean, that's great for the what-if game, but we're actually talking about what he did last year, which he did not do a whole lot compared to the guys that are up here.
Yeah.
So I have two separate lists, which the top 5 are the same in both of them, which is why I just didn't really feel the need to mention it.
Right.
I have one that's just based off the numbers, and one adjusted for injured top-tier wide receivers coming back, which would be Julio and Michael Thomas.
Barring everyone's healthy kind of thing? Yeah.
Number 6, by the numbers, Calvin Ridley.
Yeah. Ooh. He
Calvin
got me
Ridley
there, ladies and gentlemen.
6th in receiving yards.
Yeah, he was.
10th in receiving touchdowns.
Yep.
How is he not scraping the top 10 of this list?
Yep.
He basically played the season without Julio, and even while he was there, Calvin Ridley was out there eating.
Yeah.
His production did not tail off after Julio went out, and he was getting the number 1 defensive coverage. He's getting the double teams. He's still getting his numbers. He's still eating.
Yep.
You cannot disrespect Calvin Ridley like that.
100%.
The adjusted wide receiver tiers, my number 6 is Justin Jefferson. The man had a historic season for a rookie, but just period. I mean, the dude went for over 1,400 receiving yards.
Yep.
How are we just disrespecting Justin Jefferson like that?
Yep.
Is it because he's a rookie, his numbers don't count?
Right. I mean, this kid lit it up.
Some guys have bigger names because we've watched him more.
Right.
He did what he did.
Right.
Give him his props. Like, why can't he get his flowers? How many years does he have to do this for before you respect this man?
Right.
He's playing with Kirk Cousins.
Right. Broke all records. You know, it's funny, breaking Randy Moss's records with the Vikings. 1,400 yards as a rookie. That's absolutely huge. So I love the respect on Justin Jefferson at number 6.
No one else that we've named up to this point is playing with a subpar quarterback.
Right.
He put up these numbers with Kirk Cousins.
Right. Yep.
Imagine what he could do if he was playing with the quarterbacks that these guys are playing with. He's still doing it.
Allen.
Yep, and I see Jackson in there. Jackson Ocella says Tyler Lockett is criminally underrated. Stay tuned. I got him. He's on my list, so don't worry about it.
I thought about Tyler Lockett too. Wide receivers are low key such a trap sometimes though, because when we say top 10s for positions, I think wide receivers and running back should be extended to 15, 20, because there's just so much talent. I feel like once you get past about 15 or 20 with your wide receivers, you can kind of, he's clearly right. He's clearly not as good as the guys that are ahead of him. But either way, let's keep moving here. Right. Number 7, another guy that had a great season, the model of consistency, 7 straight 1,000-yard plus seasons. I'm putting Mike Evans at number 7 on my list. He is a top deep threat in the league. Huge length, great hands. Again, will make any catch and can find the end zone as well. I know he was a little banged up with some injuries, but overall, he still put in the work. Still popped out a 1,000-yard season, and he continues to double down every single year and just get better at his craft. Jameis Winston, now Tom Brady. I mean, the guy's in it for good. I love Mike Evans, and I've got it at number 7 on this list.
Okay, I'm not mad at that. Mike Evans is a baller. I mean, his numbers weren't as good as what they had been, but that's simply because the team had so many weapons. Right. His production had to come down a bit. Not mad at that, but I don't have him there.
Right.
Numbers-wise, Allen Robinson at 7.
Nice.
The adjusted list, that's where Ridley pushed to 7, right behind Justin Jefferson. So that's where I've got at 7. So what are we looking like at number 8 for you?
Number 8 for me is going to be DK Metcalf.
Wow.
Major size advantage. It is low, but when you look at the guys that are above him, you can make a great argument for all of them. It is only DK's second year. If he didn't drop as much, I'd easily have him top 5, but the drop percentage does worry me. And all the guys above him do have better hands. That's why DK is at number 8. Major size advantage, elite speed. Again, a major home run hitter. I mean, he can make you pay. He's huge. He's almost like a version of a bigger Tyreek Hill, maybe a Julio Jones, however you want to put it. He's got great size, great hands, and I mean, we know who DK is. He's came onto the scene fast. How about number 8 for you, though?
Number 8, by the numbers, Tyler Lockett. Tyler had a really good year last year. I mean, the man, he was 8th in touchdowns, 8th in receptions. He had a balling year next to DK.
Yep.
Both of them jumped up this list in the top 10 in multiple categories on the same team.
Right.
You can't scoff at them.
Right.
I definitely had them coming. That's why I was like, hold on, just bear with me. I'm going to get a man some love.
All right, we got you.
8 on the adjusted list, that's where I've got Julio. Having not played a full season, I will give him the benefit of the doubt. He did ball out while he played. He didn't play enough to be ranked as high as what he's ranked. So I'll give him 8th. That's the best I can do for him.
Yep. Got you, man. Number 9 is going to be Allen Robinson for me. We know he's been a major producer since he's been in the NFL, had multiple bad quarterbacks throwing to him. A lot of people forget Allen Robinson spent a little bit of time with the Jaguars before coming to the Bears, had a 1,400-yard receiving season over there, if I'm not mistaken, between 12 and 14. I might be a little off there, but he had a balling season in Jacksonville. And when you look at Allen Robinson's core numbers, one point in his career in one season, he had the 3rd most uncatchable passes thrown his way, and the dude was still railing in top 10 in yards, catches, touchdowns. Like, Allen Robinson will easily break any receiver's ankles. He's a top route runner in the league, and he can go for a deep threat as well. So I do have Allen Robinson at number 9, and I'm so excited to see him and Justin Fields hit it off this year. I think it's going to be a great combination for us to see. Number 9 for you, Peace.
Okay, I'm not mad at that. Number 9, by the numbers, I've got Justin Jefferson. Number 9, adjusted, I've also got Allen Robinson.
Okay, perfect.
Yes, I mean, we do agree on a few.
Right. We got a lot of good guys in here. Now on to number 10. I wanted to put him higher, but as being a rookie, it's going to give it away. You know, now going into the sophomore year, Justin Jefferson, super twitchy routes, amazing releases. Love the way he plays the game. And he kind of looks small when he's on the field and when you see him on TV. But he plays with a lot of heart, a lot of ambition. And when you see how he can truly break these receivers as a rookie, he's already causing hell in the league. And then you've got Thielen over there. You know, if only Kyle Rudolph was still there with a little more of a healthy state, would the Vikings be in a good position? But nonetheless, Justin Jefferson is a great guy for them. So I do have him falling at 10 on this list.
Okay, not mad at that at all. At number 10, I've got Mike Evans on both lists. I definitely got to give him some love. He did put up numbers, but his numbers land him right at the 10 spot. And even with the adjusted, still got him at the 10 spot. Michael Thomas cannot be in the top 10.
I just can't.
For either. He's not going to be ready to go starting this season.
Right.
He was hobbled all of last season.
Exactly.
It's like, I just don't understand. Like, what, are we giving him love for the year before last?
Right.
That's not what these rankings are supposed to be.
Yep. And you know, like, when you look at all the other guys on this list, like, I love Michael Thomas. Don't get me wrong. But he's not a deep threat. He's not going to give you 25, 30 yards. That's just not him. And maybe he turns into that with Taysom or Jameis, whoever it might be. Maybe they can extend his game. But that's not him right now. And I don't think Madden should bank on him to just immediately become this middle to deep field receiver. No, that's not Michael Thomas at all.
At all.